Hey, what's up? Josh here, and I want to go over some tips about how you can use your cell phone to your advantage without spending any extra money, or maybe just a little bit of extra money just to maybe take it up to another notch. You'll be able to apply these principles no matter if you're a beginner or if someone that's been doing this for years professionally. For this video, we're going to concentrate on some basics about lighting, audio, and video. These tips you'll actually be able to use with all kinds of reasons, whether it's recording yourself just for video purposes, or if you have those Zoom calls, you can use these principles to make your feed look really good. First, we'll talk about lighting. Lighting is such a key element in videography and even photography, but of course we're just talking about recording video for this purpose. But again, these principles just apply to so much in the same worlds. Personally, this is my recording spot that I've set up since the COVID-19 stuff broke out. I just wanted a place to where I could just sit down and start recording, and I've got my professional camera, I got some lights here. These lights here are actually like $80 on Amazon, so they're not terribly expensive, and they get the job done. I got a light here on the side here, so that way it kind of lights up the side and also helps with the shadows underneath. Then I got an overhead, so that way when I have an overhead camera pointing down, I can have lighting hitting the table. So I consider lighting all the time, but during the daytime, I have windows. And windows is one of those things that you don't have to spend money on, and it's something that I like to take advantage of anyways in all my work. What I want you to try to do is to take your phone and just leave it on auto settings. It'll be fine for now, and you'll see the changes of how stuff goes. You can go for a more dramatic look by just standing next to the window parallel to it, or if you face the window, your whole face gets lit up. I personally like the sideways looks, that way it kind of has more of one side lit up and then the other side is just kind of accented a bit. You have this what we call a Rembrandt, to where you have a triangle on one side of the face. That's a dramatic look that I like to try to go for a lot of my videos. That's just going to be up to your creative style. Other things to consider is that you're going to want to put the blinds shut, because when you have the blinds wide open or a wide open window, it's going to be really hard light onto your face. And the blinds act as a diffuser, so it softens the light for you. If it's still too bright, you might have a window that has some shears in front of it to where it adds some extra diffusion too. Other lighting hacks that you can do is actually just change the light bulbs to day whites. We changed the lights all in our house to day white, so that way I could record anywhere and have that nice light. White light looks the best. If you have that orange or yellow kind of tint lights, it's not going to look as good. It's going to look like muddy footage. It just doesn't look pleasing to the eye. It's just muddy. So if you get some day white light bulbs, that would actually make a world of a difference in anywhere in your house. There's actually quite a few times where I've made videos sitting at my desk and using the window that's by that desk for my lighting. I didn't use any external lighting to help my video out. I just used what I had available. And a lot of times I actually use my phone, so even a professional uses the phone to record stuff with. Let's talk about audio real quick. There's a few things that you can help that will help eliminate distractions or noisy environments and things like that. One of the ways to get a quiet environment is to actually just turn things off, whether it's your fan, dishwasher, dryer, all the appliances, anything like that. TV, you don't want that kind of stuff going on in the background unless if you can take yourself to a separate room of the house or wherever that you are that has none of that stuff going on. If I'm just recording audio, there's a lot of times where I'll go into my master bedroom closet. It's got all kinds of clothes and it acts as a sound dampening mechanism. And it's really actually interesting how clean the audio comes out when you record into there. So if you're just recording audio, that's actually something that you can do. Just walk into your closet and start talking. Stabilization is key to a really nice looking video. You don't want shaky footage, and even as much as good stabilization that's built into some of these cameras with our phones, you still want to prop it up on something or have a stabilizer. I love using this here with my phone. This is just a small tripod that I can go handheld or spread out the legs and prop it down onto a surface. What I like about this cell phone mount is that it's a tightener by twisting. And it gets tighter so that way you know that the phone is going to be nice and secure. There's other ones out there that are more spring-loaded and they end up falling out at times, or I've had that happen to me. I don't know if you just heard that, but that was actually a distraction that you can help, is to turn off all your notifications on your phone. I had these phones on vibrate, but because they're on the table, they ended up vibrating the table, making a noise. So that's actually another little tip. It's almost like I'm glad that it happened during the recording of the video because I needed to bring that up and I actually forgot about it. So there you go. There's another freebie tip for you. Turn off all notifications, turn it to silent. Don't put your phone that's on vibrate onto a table because it's still going to make noise. So even if you have to go handheld with this, the stabilization is going to be a lot better. You just have a lot more to grip onto. It's more of a natural grip versus trying to hold your phone. Either way, I would recommend placing this down onto a surface with something like this, but even if you don't have a cell phone mount like this, you can prop it up onto something. All you need is just something with a little bit of weight in the back of it to hold up the phone without the phone falling. The other thing to consider is the angle of the video feed. So looking straight on is not terrible, but you definitely don't want to be looking down because you're going to see all this, and some people might have more than others, and that's just something to be aware of. And a way to get rid of that is to lift your head. And the more you lift your head, it's actually a more pleasing and pleasant experience just for everybody. You talk better, your vocals sound better, but also just looks better on camera too. So you don't want to go like super high, but just at a nice angle upward to look up at the camera. Speaking of what to look at, you don't want to be looking at your screen when you're recording. You want to look at the lens, because the lens is what's actually recording you, and that's what's going to help connect you to the audience. I'm sure you've noticed people, their eyes don't look like they're looking at the camera. It's because they're looking at the screen and not the lens. It's the same thing. Like, I've got a monitor to my regular camera over here, and I actually have another one down here, but I'm definitely not gonna, I'll look down there if I need to check on my framing and stuff like that and make sure everything's still recording. But I have a monitor up here, and as you can see, like if I were to look at the monitor the entire time, you could tell I'm not even looking at you, but you have to stare down into that lens so that way you can connect to your audience the best way possible. And speaking of that lens, you gotta clean it every once in a while. I am notorious to, before even recording anything, I'm checking the lens to make sure there's no dust, and that's just a camera. So if you think about it with a phone, it's on your face at times. And some people have more things on their face than others, and that gets onto the lens. So you're gonna wanna clean that off. It's recommended to use a microfiber cloth, but I'm guilty of using my shirt. So it'll be okay. It's not gonna mess anything up, but just make sure that you clean that thing off so that way it looks nice and crispy and clear. Most of the time you're gonna wanna shoot in a horizontal fashion so that we can catch what's going on in the background. You wanna see the environment that you're in. And you want to try to hold out the camera, have the framing to where you're not so close to the camera. Like, imagine, I don't want to get this close to the camera, but you can see how I'm so close to the camera and you can't see much around me, and no one really wants close to your nose anyways. As you back up, you can see, like if I had a lot going on behind me, you can see all the stuff that's going on. You can see the environment. It helps set the scene. If you're willing to spend a little bit of extra money, I'll leave a link down below in the description of some cool tools that you can use to help elevate your cell phone capturing game. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. All the links that you need will be down below in the video description. If you've got some tips that you would like to share with others that could be beneficial to them as well, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. If you enjoyed this video, I'm sure that you'll enjoy the other ones. Feel free to check out the link at the screen and also in the video description. Thanks again for watching.